When you got into porn, there's probably very few girls that were making $1 million a year, right?
Oh, for sure.
And now there's a lot.
There's a lot.
And there's no fucking companies involved.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It's definitely changed, the game. And again, it's social media. It's like the internet. It's, it's a blessing. It's definitely given us more of more of a say in a stand of like what we can do with our business ongoing as well.
So you got into doing porn at 21?
I was 21.
Okay. So what was your sex life leading up to that, and what helped you make the decision that that's what you wanted to do?
My sex life before I was in college, and so I was just young, dumb, and full of cum. I just had sex like every other college girl. When I was a bartender.
You went to frat parties?
I didn't do frat parties because I worked. I was like a bartender and assistant manager at a bar.
Well, there's a lot of dick to get as a bartender.
That's true. So you see all the drunk ones and non ones, like what to navigate. You see what you do, and if they're still awake. And where I went to college, it closed really early. I think it was like midnight and 1 o'clock on the weekends. So most times we'd either go to Austin, which was not very far, and
6th Street,
yes,
war zone.
6th Street is pretty crazy.
I lived out there for a few months, and it is a scary, scary scene every night.
It is. It's pretty intense. It's like Mardi Gras, all year round.
There's like a big part of me that would like to just go to 6th Street and just sort of stand on a roof and just watch as all the different bars flood out. And because there's literally like a frat, like jock bar, and then like a Puerto Rican bar, and they're like both let out at the same time. But then like a ton of other bars too, and they all let out. And then somebody steps on somebody's foot, and all of a sudden they're just beating the dog shit out of each other. It is so.
There's always a fight on 6th Street. No, never gonna.
And there's
fail.
cops on horses to stop it. And even that, like even
they
these
close
dudes
down the whole street, and it's And there's even the local ones too that stay that have a little tutu, that has little, it's fun.
And it's like for me, like the second where I'm about to punch somebody, and then I remember like, oh yeah, there's 5 cops on horses right there. That makes me know I'm not gonna punch this dude.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I'm not even scared of the cop. I'm scared of the horse.
The horse. You don't want to get kicked.
Real talk. Okay, so because being the bartender is kind of like training for being like a stripper or an adult star, right? Because you're sort of like the focus of the whole room. Everybody needs to come to you. You're like mini famous in that environment, right? And
yeah, I guess in some sense the word. I've always liked, attention of things. But I started from doing shot girl, waitress, bartender. I moved, from the bottom all the way to the top. Before I left, I was assistant manager.
And were you like working at the bar and you'd have people coming in and saying like, oh, you're wasting your talent. You need to get in the industry?
Not at all. That's like, I don't even think that's I know no one ever even told me anything about porn. I never watched porn at that time at all. It was very, very random and very just kind of fell into my lap. And yeah.
Interesting. Because there's like most people out there, like most girls who are, let's say promiscuous, they probably wouldn't think about doing the porn thing because it just seems so crazy to put all that information out there. Did that occur to you at all in your head, or how did this go?
No, not really. Like how I got approached, it was a company called Shane's World, which was reality-based porn, and at that time there was none. So it was kind of really new, and also back then it was pre-internet, but like the very early on. So to do a DVD took months to like replicate, edit it, and do all those things like that. So my first scene actually didn't come out until way later, and I did an internet scene that came out like immediately.
How did you get approached about that?
So I was going to work, and I had actually been approached by Eliminate the couple of days before because they wanted me to be on the show. So I thought it was the same people, and they were like coming back to talk to me. And I was like, if you want to talk, you have to go in the bar. They're like, we're not the Eliminate people. They're like, but we're doing this thing out here. We're trying to get girls that are in college that have never done scenes before to do a scene in a movie with me. So I was like, okay, cool. They're like, we're going to Austin tonight. We're here. Take my number. When you get off of work, if you want to meet up, let me know. So we exchanged numbers, and I never heard from them. So the next day, being like, oh, I didn't like rejection, I was like, I guess you didn't really want me in your movie anyways, which I had no idea, or not. I didn't message him to be like, oh, I want to be in your movie. I just didn't know where it came from.
You were pissed. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, like, why am I not good enough for your movie? Like, it's that like denial. Like, I don't know, all those things. So he answered right away, and he was like, oh my God, I didn't think you'd even want to do it. He was like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at home. He's like, we're on our way back to Houston. He was like, we'll turn around right now if you want to do it. I'm like, I'm not saying I want to do it. So he stayed on the phone with me for like an hour. They picked me up. I ended up doing a scene with him. And yeah.
That's crazy. I wonder what the success rate is like. Like, I'm trying to imagine if I were just to go to like random bars in Texas and just ask the bartenders
Well,
if
he
they want to do
originally
porn.
started because he was from Texas and he had one girl already committed to doing it who he had known. So he knew, and she had college friends that I guess they had said that they were going to do. So he had kind of like it's kind of set up a little bit, but he was trying to get girls to do a thing. So it was a whole series.